Episode 131. I don't think Hildebrand is getting up anytime soon. No matter. We have a battle to get to. So to review, the truffles were to elicit a sneeze from the octopus's oversized crony, which would be positioned so as to appear it was coming from the Alamegan girl's blade, allowing the two to sweep away their opponents with ease. Thank you, Guardian. That suffices as a previous episode recap. No wonder I wasn't able to see it sooner. It's quite possibly the most imbecilic scheme I've ever encountered in my years as a consulting inspector. At any rate, we have no choice but to trust in your abilities now, Komoi. Let us make for Halatali. And Hildebrand will stay behind. Back to Halatali. You know, I'm not exactly sure why we keep going to this place for Colosseum-related stuff. I remember Halatali Hard Mode was where we fight Franz the Fair and the rest of his cohorts. I know they're using it for some kind of gladiatorial training grounds or something, but it's also where we fought something for a Relic Reborn. That whole series of quests. At least the start of those quests. I guess they just keep a bunch of monsters here, but feels like they should have some kind of arena that we can actually fight in, I don't know, somewhere in Old All. Who's actually going to come to the venue out here? It's raining too. I can't imagine a very good turnout. I suppose if anyone can defeat those fiends, it's you. Be safe, Komoi. There is no telling what inane trickery that octopus will attempt next. Be on your guard, Komoi. Oh, this tourney's turned into a right mess. With all the trouble I took preparing consolation prizes for the melee, it looks like we won't be needing them after all. Give them to Komoi. Of course, as long as you're bringing in the spectators and the profits, I could give a Nat's ours. Now I know what you're thinking. 2 against 1 ain't fair, especially when one of the two is the size of a small house. So here's the deal. Why don't you bring along some of your friends for the battle? Let's say 7 of them. That should even the odds, Yep, it's a trial. Another one. They're kind of generous on giving Hildebrand quests trials, at least in a Realm Reborn. Yeah, a Relic Reborn, Halatali Hard, normal Halatali. And now this, the Dragon's Neck. I think this is the last time we come here, but it's just strange how often this place gets used. And it's an optional place too. Wait time is apparently 13 minutes. And unfortunately we're going to have to wait here in the rain. Until then. Combatants, the final confrontation will be held here, at the Dragon's Neck. If all members of a team fall from the platform, they forfeit the match. Seafood soup is not on the menu today, kids. Dragon's Neck. Kind of a weird encounter, but like they said, if everyone falls, then from this platform, we're out. There's a way to avoid that. Fighting both Typhon and Ultros. I don't recall, but I guess whoever marked Ultros here is correct, that taking out Ultros first is generally the better idea. Now I didn't mention it before, but Typhon is actually someone that we fought previously. In the Gold Saucer of all places. It was just a kind of encounter there. I guess that was after Typhon appeared here in this side quest that they added into the Gold Saucer. When fighting as a Kappa, you need to absorb some water like I'm doing just there. Damn. It keeps getting turned around. I only have one stack of this thing, but you're supposed to use your attacks on Typhon like this when he does a severe snort. Oh, at least I'm still on. I don't know how you're supposed to know that, but that's just what you're supposed to do. And I'm an imp again. Gotta get that water. For each stack that you get, and each attack that you do on Typhon with the stack, you lower the drawback, or the knockback on his severe snort. And if everybody does it, then I think you cancel it out entirely. But I guess you only need a few, and even then, certain abilities, most people have them, allow you to avoid knockback. With Ultros dead, I'm not sure we even need to stop the severe snort, but there we go. That wasn't too bad. Almost went by way too quickly. Toward it again. I feel like such a sucker. And Komoi claims the Mitchell Cup. Damn, I forgot to give that commendation. They left too quick. Well, at least we got tiny Ultros. Let's bring him out now. Oh, I guess this is actually lore compliant. Godbert did say he would turn Ultros into his masterpiece, didn't he? One can only imagine the time and effort Master Goldsmith Godbert put into the creation of this lifelike recreation of a lecherous purple octopus. You did it, Komoi. With any luck, we've seen the last of that lecherous devilfish. Good show, Komoi. Your performance has earned us front row seats at the awards ceremony. This should afford us the perfect vantage point to thwart a thief. Come, let us return to the Colosseum. Were there even any spectators? I didn't even check around. Ah, Hildebrand is back to normal. A most remarkable display of martial skill, my adventuring friend. Clearly you have been observing me well in our travels together. The ceremony will begin any moment now. Be on your guard, our adversary may be anywhere, or anyone. It was a battle for the ages, but a worthy victor has risen to claim the spoils. And now let us take a look at the relic that our champion has won. Behold, from the personal vaults of Master Firgis himself, the Warden's Grace, a timeless treasure the likes of which the realm has never seen. One that's earned the attention of Eorzea's most prominent pilferer. That'll go nicely with our earring. I guess they're both based on the Zema. Above you. Ladies and gentlemen, inspectors and invertebrates, the opening act dragged on over long. But worry not. The main event is about to begin. I know that you paid well for your seats here today, but I can assure you that my performance will not leave you disappointed. Now I invite one and all to sit back and enjoy the show. Vile fiend, mark my words. You have stolen your last treasure. I swear it on the Manderville name. I think not, Hildegard. Greg, 'tis always a pleasure to reunite with old friends, but your timing truly leaves something to be desired. At least the crowd loves it. Komoi, you bested me once, but not today. I shall have my revenge when I pierce your chest with my spear. Do you not mean your skewer? My spear. Knowing Gilgamesh, he could make lethal use out of that skewer. Vile thief, is there not a shred of honor in you? Return my weapon at once. Oh ho, it seems we have an unexpected guest. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I fear attendance at today's performance is by invitation only. Now it's raining truffles, but the battle's already... Mr. Typhon? Just a moment. I'm sure I had a tissue here somewhere. Foon Ga. The laws of physics are questionable around Hildebrand. Alas and alack, the ring sails straight into the hands of the fiend. Giving up so soon, are we? Those don't sound like the words of a Manderville man. But of course, brilliant, father. If the ring won't come to me, I shall go to the ring. Why, it'll be just like Dalamud. Hildebrand Heliodor Maximilian Manderville. Skyward, as only a Manderville can. Father, you know not your own strength. Well, it's the Montrevilles. 997, 998, 999. Oh. These eggs, they look strangely familiar. That chicken will be okay, right? Ah, put a little too much spin on that one, it seems. Not exactly as planned, but who can argue with the results? Say for one thing, this ring is a fake. But no matter, I have a feeling this will lead me to the true treasure. Until next time, friends, you have been a most attentive audience. That key, bloody hells. Guards, seize the fiend at once. At least Nashu liked it. It's too late, sir. The second prize, The Ring of Inquiry, it's gone. Second prize? What is the meaning of this? Many-faced fiend or no, the man spoke true. A master goldsmith's eyes cannot be deceived. This sun sphere is clearly a second-rate replica. Preposterous, it's just a dim lighting. Yes, if you'll just step over here. Have you taken ill, friend? You seem to be perspiring most heavily. Let's not be so hasty, friends. I can explain. I sold out my honor, joined forces with that odious octopus, all for a false treasure. What a fool I have been. Whatever was I thinking? Do not berate yourself so, Miss Avila. Why, it was exactly as you said. Was it not? You were thinking of dear Hegelina, and nothing more. I suppose I was, at that. How do you know my sister's name? I assure you, young miss, under no circumstances did I tell you to the Nanawa mines to eavesdrop on your intimately personal dialogue with your beloved sister. You have the right of it. Blinded by the prospect of fortune and fame, I lost sight of myself and what I was truly fighting for. My honor and my sister's trust will not be easily regained, but I will not shirk from the challenge. One mystery still remains. Before the thief had identified the ring as fake, he had already acquired the key to the storeroom. Clearly the second prize, the Ring of Inquiry, was his target from the start. But why? There must be some pattern to the items the fiend has stolen, a pattern that betrays his true intentions. The Treaty Blade, the Zameless Virtue, the Ring of Inquiry, all relics with quite a history, or to be more precise, relics from the era of the Belladians. Oh ho! If that is so, the answer is clear as day. The fiend means to found Eorzea's greatest museum of Belladian history, pushing up the prices and gouging honest men out of their hard-earned coin. Doubtless another one of his cards will appear on the scene to tell us just as much. How does he do it? I mean, literally. How does he teleport these items out of nowhere? especially something this big. I have enjoyed our little game, but all good things must come to an end. I shall claim the 4 sacred treasures, and justice shall be served. So this is the thief's final challenge to us. But what are these 4 treasures of which he speaks? Where the 4 treasures of Belaudian become one, the wicked shall be judged in the blazing light of the sun. An old legend, little more than a fairy tale at that, and yet it seems the Phantom believes there is some truth in these words. 4 sacred relics from Belaudia, the Warden's justice, lofty words coming from a glorified footpad. One who's winning over the common folk by the day, if the rumors are to be believed. It would seem the tales of a master thief, ruffling the feathers of the rich and famous, have won the man more than a few admirers. Consider his targets thus far: an old-on collector and her hired thugs, a trading mogul and the brass blades, and now, a mining magnate and the stone torches. Is it any surprise that the sympathies of ordinary old-ons would lie with the perpetrator rather than his victims? Astutely observed, Miss Ellie. Our quarry clearly harbors no small degree of resentment for wealth and authority. Might his next target be a member of the syndicate? Perhaps the Sultana herself? Aha! Then it will be to his downfall. For the greater the challenge, the higher I rise. Just one moment, if you would. Mark my words, ye of many faces. There is but one man who shall lay claim to the 4 lost relics of Belaudia, and it shall be Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire. Yes, I'm sure that inspires us all with great confidence. What's that? No, it couldn't be. Huh. Methinks Godbert may need a new pair of spectacles. This is it. It's a race to recover the 4 lost relics of Belaudia, as the fiend's true identity and aspirations are revealed. Will Eorzea fall prey to the forces of evil? Or will our hero do what only a Manderville can? The last episode. Of this series, anyway. The key to the next case is a mask. Have you ever worn a mask for so long that you forgot what you actually looked like I have. Really? Nashu? That's kinda scary. And how did they freeze in midair like that? Talk about a mystery. Oh well. See you next time. Luckily for me, next time is right now. Kinda cuter than the real thing, huh? I was wondering when you'd show up, Komori. I never left. I hope you haven't made any plans for the night, because we've got a situation on our hands. Remember our good friend the Phantom Thief? Well, it seems he's decided to branch out from burglary to cold-blooded murder. If the rumors are to be believed, he's claimed 3 victims already, all influential members of Old Dawn society. Mr. Many-Faces has been kind enough to leave one of his signature calling cards at every scene, leaving no doubt as to the identity of the murderer. The message is always the same. The weight of 5 corpses will bring the scales of justice to balance. More riddles. Not that you'll hear me complaining. No, the only thing my readers like more than a good mystery is a good murder mystery. Ever since the story broke, the Mitchell Eye's been selling like Pond's cakes. The only rub is that it's left me no time to look into the thief's last message. Until now, that is. Shall we, Komori? The hidden treasure of Old Dawn, was it? If there's anyone who can shed some light on this, it's you-know-who. The Sunsilk Tapestries. I don't know who, actually. It's not Wyman, is it? Wyman doesn't hang out there. No, wait, it is Wyman. Just saw that in the upper right. What an outfit. I guess all the gladiators dress like that. For a moment I thought Sunsilk's Tapestries was the place near the Weavers Guild. But I guess it's just this one store that Wyman hangs out near. What do they actually sell here? It's not the Weavers Guild, so... They call it battle gear, but it's just... a weird collection of level 25 and 35 armor. Completely unremarkable. What's the purpose of this store? I guess they have... novelty gear too? Oh, like wedding outfits, or... not wedding outfits, but... things for people to wear if they were attending a wedding. Actually, maybe we should have worn this during the whole wedding episode with Hildebrand. It doesn't matter. The actual wedding outfits for if you were to get player married or something come through the online store. I guess it's all part of the wedding package. You have to spend real-life money to get married to a player that you know, but I guess it comes with all sorts of benefits, like not just the clothes, but also a ring that lets you teleport directly to your spouse or whatever. Well now, if it ain't my favorite venturer, and my favorite Mitchell Eye reporter along with her, tell me, what have I done to deserve the pleasure of your company today? I see. As much as I'd like to help 2 lovely ladies, I'm afraid you found old Wyman at a loss. Old Dawn has more than its fair share of treasures, hidden and otherwise. I reckon our phantom friend could be after just about any of them. I can tell you this much though. Whatever the thief got his eyes on, it's got the Sultan sworn in a right dither. Word has it, they formed a regiment of their best and brightest to safeguard the royal vaults. royal vaults from this very threat. The Sultan's Sworn aren't like to be forthcoming with information, but it's the only lead we've got. Come on, Komoi. I'd say it's time we paid a visit to the heart of the Sworn. Oi, hold up there, Ellie. I ain't generally the worrying type, but you may want to think twice before getting yourselves involved in this. A man in my business develops a nose for danger, and this time, the stench is something fierce. You're a reporter, Ellie, and a fine one at that. Don't put that pretty neck of yours at risk trying to play a hero. Your concern is touching, but I can assure you that I am ready for whatever dangers lie ahead. Besides, being a reporter is about more than selling papers. I have a duty to seek out the truth and convey it to the people. Come, Komoi. Time is of the essence. Confidence. I like that in a woman. Any road, it's not my place to stop you. So just promise me you'll be careful. My gut tells me that trouble's a brewing, and my gut's right more often than wrong. Scholar's Walk. I don't know where that is. Oh, by the Alchemist Guild. This guy too. Trying to use alchemy for the forbidden art of necromancy. We've been down that road. Hey, we know Humphrey. Where have I seen this man before? This guy was part of our whole quest line that was specific to starting City Ul'dah. If you had started in Limsa Lominsa or Gridania, I guess you wouldn't know Humphrey, but I guess Humphrey will know us. It probably only changes one line of dialogue that we're about to see, though. Halt, only authorized personnel are allowed in... Don't bugger me with a broadsword. It's the Gentleman of Light's adventuring companion, and that catty but cute reporter from the Middle Eye. Wait a second. Humphrey? No. Was this the same guy that we did the whole quest line with the stolen crown and all of that? Might have been a different guy. Right, this guy. He was from the Hildebrand quest, actually. I didn't realize he was a Sultan's Sworn. Well, if it isn't the self-styled Warrior of Light. Tell me, what tall tales did you spin to the Sultan's Sworn recruiter to land yourself in this position? Only the 12's honest truth, miss. Seeing that Gentleman of Light standing tall and triumphant that day, it moved me, to the depths of me soul like. I vowed to put aside my sketchy past and serve the realm, just like my hero, Master Hildebrand. The Sultan's Sworn were impressed with my commitment and my sword arm, and they gladly welcomed me into their ranks. Wait, don't tell me. You've come to assist Master Hildebrand in his investigation, haven't you? Cor, why didn't you say so sooner? It's the least I could do to help the two ladies who united me with my role model. You'll be wanting to speak with Phyllis. She's one of the Sultan's Sworn, one of the Sworn's best, and something of a history buff, it seemed. When she heard the thief was targeting the 4 relics of Belladia, she personally stepped forward and volunteered to lead the investigation. If anyone has the information you're looking for, it'd be her. Wait here while I get her. I trust you not to touch anything, aye? A pleasure to meet you, Felice. My name is Ellie, from the Middle Eye. As you may have heard, we're researching the Phantom Thief case, and would appreciate any information that may shed light on recent events. The pleasure is all mine, Miss Ellie. And if I'm not mistaken, that would make your companion friend here, one Komoi Moriko, yes? You know Komoi? As a regular reader of the Mittel, I would. I must confess to being something of an unabashed fan of your work. Though it hardly befits my station to say this, I was secretly hoping that you would show up to assist in the investigation. Doubtless the inspector, too, will also welcome a helping hand. The Sultan Sworn, the elite of Ulda's elite. I can only hope they prove more competent than the bungling mercenaries I've dealt with thus far. Inspector Briardian, always one step ahead of us. Miss Ellie, Komoi, a moment if you would. Right there, very good. Now face me and don't move an elm. Inspector, what is in your... Demasking dust, a formula of my own devising that will allow us to see right through the thief's disguises. Analyzing the mask left behind at Vesper Bay, I was able to identify its composition and synthesize a counter-agent that would dissolve the disguise whilst leaving the wearer's face intact. In any event, it would appear the two of you are indeed who you appear to be. Brilliant, Inspector. The Phantom Thieves pulled the wool over our eyes for the last time. I fear it won't be so simple. The ingredients necessary to produce the dust are exceedingly rare. Even with the entire resources of the Sultan's one at our disposal, we were only able to produce a limited supply. I see. Well, I suppose it's better than nothing. That said, have you been able to identify the thief's next target? A hidden treasure of Ulda, the last of the four relics, the four lost relics of Belladia? I fear not. I've pored through the histories time and again, but the only mention of these four relics is a vague reference in an old prophecy. Most serious scholars consider it little more than a fairy tale. When darkness falls, and hope fades to despair, four warriors born of light shall descend in the righteous glare. The legend goes on to describe four sacred artifacts, one each possessed by these four Belladian heroes, but makes no mention as to their appearance or nature. 3 times we have tried to identify the thief's target, and 3 times has he fooled us by making off with something else entirely. Needless speculation will only play to the fiend's strengths. All artifacts of Belladian origin have been sealed within the royal vault, and a regiment of our finest assigned to its protection. I have furnished all the guards with a supply of demasking dust, and instructed them to be on the lookout for any suspicious personages. The blackguard will be in chains before he can lay a dirty hand on the vault doors, let alone the treasures within. You have our word, my lady. But there are even more disturbing matters at hand. Doubtless you have heard of the recent rash of murders perpetrated by our quarry. The Sultan Sworn have launched an investigation, but the truth of the matter is that we have been far too preoccupied with the defense of the vaults to make any meaningful progress. We would be most grateful for any assistance you could offer. A lady asks, and a gentleman answers. Cast all worry from your heart, my lady. Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has arrived to set right what is wrong and bring the wicked to justice. And this must be the demasking dust that is the talk of the palace. But you need not waste your supply on me, Inspector. I assure you that I am exactly who I claim to be. A shame that. Inspector Hildebrand, we were not expecting you, but your services are most welcome. I will share all I know about the recent murders. The killer has claimed 3 victims thus far. The head of a publishing consortium, a high-ranking government official, and an influential scholar. Other than that they were all influential figures in their respective circles, we can identify no common threads connecting the 3. Oh ho, this will prove a most satisfying case to crack indeed. And what of the method of killing? Conked over the head with a cudgel? Gutted with a greatsword? Strangled with a subligar, mayhap? I'm afraid we've identified no pattern. In any event, the murderer plots the deaths of 2 more even as we speak. We must take action, and quickly. Understood, my lady. Clues may be scarce, but worry not. My realm-renowned powers of deduction are more than up to the task. I will see this burglar-turned-butcher delivered to justice. Your presence is heartening indeed, Inspector Hildebrand. Friends, please take this demasking dust with you. I fear we can spare but a single sachet, but I trust you will put it to good use. On behalf of the Sultan's Horn, your assistance with the murder investigation is greatly appreciated. Leave the defense of the Royal Vault to us. The Gentleman of Light in the flesh. Hell, he's every bit as muscular and majestic as I remembered. Do you have anything to say? No. He may have 1,000 faces, but with Inspector Byardian's demasking dust, the masquerade will soon be over. Come to accompany me on another case, friend? I like your gusto. But if you're auditioning to be my assistant, I fear that role has already been filled most ably. Still, a gentleman welcomes the support of all his admirers. I shall henceforth name you thusly, Komoy, my ever-loyal associate. And now, my ever-loyal associate, the investigation calls. I propose that we begin by inspecting the site at which the most recent victim met his demise. My questioning about the palace has revealed the scholar's body was found not far from the 80 sins of Sosimo. Even the most circumspect of criminals cannot help but leave behind clues that will not elude my gaze. Friends, let us be off. Pray alert me should you see anyone suspicious. My ever-loyal associate. We must put Felice's demasking dust to good use. Ever-loyal associate, huh? I guess we have been hanging around Hildebrand for a while. Oh, it's outside of town? Ah, I see. The 80 sins of Sosimo, right. The 80 steps. I did actually count these that one time. It wasn't 80. I think 75 or something. Flowers. How intriguing. Flowers? Yes, it is all becoming clear now. Our phantom killer is a florist, who, in his hurry to escape, carelessly mislaid his wares. Just what do you think you're doing, eh? Eh? I'm the one who put those flowers there, eh? To honor the memory of me poor boy. You dare defile his memory, eh? 1,000 pardons, my lady. Please accept my most sincere condolences on your loss. I am Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire. I swear to you, on my own dear mother's name, that your son's killer will be brought to justice. And, as I was saying, these flowers were clearly placed here by the family of the deceased, which can only mean... Leave this place. Run away while you still can. Run far, far away. Run, or he'll turn you into a zombie, just like my poor, poor boy. Zombies, eh? I thought we were done with that. But we're back to this. It all comes full circle. A living person turned into a zombie? Nonsense. You weren't there for that, Briardian. No, not nonsense, my boy. History. Or have you not heard of the horrors of Silde? Aye, Ulda's sibling nation, against which we waged war centuries ago. Much blood was shed by both sides, aye, but I speak of far greater horrors than death. An unholy draught, brewed by a Sildan alchemist, one with the power to turn the living into the undead, that his nation might command an army of mindless, deathless soldiers. The traitor's spurn. We heard of this. That's right. In the Palace of the Dead. When we were flashing back to Nibes Obdalord, he spoke of the traitor's spurn. Maybe one last go at necromancy, eh, Komoy? We were just here for fun, to take our minds off of things, to not go back to the rising stones and all the doom and gloom. But maybe, in this one last adventure, we can take one last crack at necromancy. I actually forgot this was all involved, so we'll see how this goes. They turned my poor boy into a heap of rotten flesh and ran him through. But you won't hear that from the Sultan's horn. Thal alone knows why, but they whisked the body away before I could so much as pay me last respects. The traitor's spurn? I heard the stories, but I never thought them true. To be able to procure such a frightening thing. Just who are we dealing with here? A Sildin, I'm sure of it. Aye, only a Sildin would know the recipe. But the last remnants of Silda died 4 centuries ago, you say? Oh, they did they? He calls himself the Phantom Thief, he does. But did it ever occur to you that he might be an honest-to-God's phantom? Heard the tales from my own great-great-grandma I did, about the 4 relics of Bellatia, and the power they hold, the power to exact justice. A spectre of Silde has returned to wreak vengeance on us. Woe, woe unto us all. Have the 4 warriors of light forsaken us? My dear boy, if only you'd become a traitor like your father. If only you'd kept your nose out of those history books, and never so much breathed the accursed name of Silde. But you did, and now we're doomed. 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 And off she goes. That bleeding horse son's here somewhere. I can feel it in my follicles. The most potent hair tonic the realm has ever seen. Aye, that it was. For all of a fortnight, before my flowing locks fell out all over again. And just as I was chatting up a lovely young lass at the quicksand, just to twist the knife an extra ilm. There's that guy again, for whatever reason. Has he shown up in a cutscene up until now? This might be the first time. Up until now, I think it was just off in the background sometimes. Mountebank, charlatan. I'll find that so-called inspector and his sorry band, and pull every last strand of hair from their bleeding skulls. They're bringing back all the major players, or rather, bringing back all the bit players. One last go at Hildebrand. I actually did forget that there would be zombie stuff. Actually, this entire quest line, well, not the quest line, this episode 5 of Hildebrand, Adventures in a Realm Reborn. I remembered every episode except how this one goes. I know there's a trial involved, but can't fathom how that's connected to everything going on. Episode 1 with that guy that we just met, and all of that zombie stuff. Episode 2 with the Treaty Blade, and our first encounter with the masked thief, the Phantom Thief, or whatever his official name is. Episode 3 at Costa del Sol and the wedding, and the episode 4 we just finished just now, with the arena. Vaguely recalled all of those things, at least one or two details from them, but this one I have no memory of, except for maybe the climax, a little bit, with the trial. This one will be fun for me to remember how it goes down, as it happens. Shades from Sildare. Living men turned to zombies. The old crone's lost not just her son, but her wits as well. It's all becoming clear to me now. That dear old woman's testimony has confirmed that which I had suspected from the start. Like a zombie picking away at its rotting flesh, Hildebrand, agent of inquiry, inspector extraordinaire, has peeled away the foul scab of uncertainty to reveal the truth within. Open your ears and feast your minds on the fruits of my flawless deduction. Our phantom thief is a phantom indeed, a wayward spirit, caught between the realm of the living and the dead for nigh on centuries, since meeting a tragic end on the battlefield. As such, our course of action is clear. We must placate this tortured soul, that it might abandon its vengeful vendetta and travel to the next life in peace. But what is the true nature of the spectre's grievances? Without this knowledge, we cannot hope to assuage its rancor. Let us begin our search at the Thaumaturgist Guild. Doubtless the tomes there contain a wealth of knowledge on the ill blood between the sibling nations. Notwithstanding the abject stupidity of everything else that came out of your mouth, some knowledge of Sildare might serve us well. Go research as you will, and do take as much time as you need. You can count on me, Inspector Byardian. Whatever knowledge is to be gleaned at the guild, it shall not escape my inspector's eye. How fun. I guess we're going back to our other old stomping ground. I'd be much obliged if you could keep him out of my way, Komoy. I have some real investigating to do. I would prefer to be free of distractions. How long has it been since we were in here? There was a brief detour we went into here for, right? After all the Black Mage stuff, before all of this, there was something that brought me in here, but I don't remember what. Well, we're back now. Does everyone remember us? I hope they didn't forget just because we were gone for a while. Maybe we'll just sit here, in their line of sight, until they all remember us. Now would be a good time to take a break.